All right, so we detected and exploited different types of SQL injection in the previous lessons, and we performed manual detection and exploitation. It really is important to get the idea behind an SQL injection. And I think we've, covered it enough. So now I would like to introduce you to a wonderful tool. In the next 3 videos, we're going to cover the SQLmap. But first, I want to start with some basic options. So I'm going to use this SQL injection page, and you can open it from the menu. It's a simple search over the HTTP GET method. You can type in something to search, and the typed input is in the URL, as you can see. Okay, so copy this URL. Then open your terminal. Now, SQLmap is a built-in and free open source tool in Kali. And I think it's going to solve many problems while you go along SQL injecting. So with 1H, you can see basic options, and we're going to cover most of them, but the usage is quite simple. I think the developers did a very good job here. So it simplifies the detection as well as the exploitation. But wait, there's more. With H, you can view even more options and more advanced scenarios. You can use them here. So let's just stop right here and run it. So type in SQLmap U and paste the URL here between the double quotes. So this is the target URL. Then ptitle to specify the target parameter to test. And type --cookie to add cookies. Now you may need a session value or something in a cookie, so you can provide it with this parameter. So go to Firefox now and open Developer Tools and go to the Network tab, refresh page, and click on a request. And copy the value of the cookie header. Paste it here. Then you can randomize the user agent with random agent. And the H parameter will add a special HTTP header to the requests sent by SQLmap. So I don't know if you can see it, but this is handy because you may want to follow SQLmap requests in a log file or any security device. So I'm going to add this header, and with a DBMS parameter, you can point directly to the database management system of the backend. And also you can specify the operating system with the OS parameter as well. Then F for fingerprinting the database, B for banner information of DBMS, and then add current user and current database. Then check to see if the current user is a database administrator. Okay, so now we've completed the SQLmap query. So I know it looks like a long one, but it's very clear. Okay, hit enter. So it detects an injection, and now if you accept, it will try another type of SQL injection payload. So look, it finds several others. The title parameter is vulnerable. And if you want other parameters to test, you can always press Y. But choose no. We don't need the others now. And then let's see how it finalizes the execution. And now you can see the results here on the screen. And there happens to be a copy in this file. So let me show you. It's under root directory in a hidden folder. So we'll open the log file, and here is a complete information about our finding. See the payloads and the discovered information. Okay, so go back to the terminal. Now I'm going to run this one. Users is my parameter for getting database users, and the password parameter for passwords of the database users. You can also get their privileges and roles also. So I think the parameters are clear. It gathers users, then passwords, and then it can even crack the hashes for you. So accept it by hitting enter, choose one, and no. Then it will try to crack the hashes with its own dictionary file. Okay, the execution is finalized. So go ahead and open the log file. And here's the output of the second query. The payloads and the users are here, the passwords and the hashes are here. Then the privileges show up. Scrolling down, and here are the database users' roles. Okay, so go back to terminal. And now let's use this query. It will get all the databases with DBS and enumerate all the information about them with a schema. It will bring in everything about the databases, and of course the output is very long. And you can analyze it later, but this time just delete the schema parameter. That's the one that causes a long input. So here are the database names in the server. So now we can choose one of them with the D parameter. And it lists the tables in it. Okay, so now we can choose a table with the T parameter and see the columns. And these are the columns of the users table. Great. So now we have the information about the database, the table, and the columns. So we can pull the actual data. So just use the C parameter and type the name of the columns. Then simply dump. And it runs quickly. So here's the result. And we can delete here. You can dump the whole table also. It'll detect the hashes again. So choose one and crack them. And thankfully, it cracked the hashes. And yeah, so here is the result. Perfectamundo. Okay, now use this query. The SQL shell parameter will open an SQL shell for you to run SQL statements. So this is very cool. You can run a SQL query here. Select ID login from bwap.users. Oh, something's wrong here. That's it there. I got to add a comma. So it's a really cool feature. Okay, so go back. Now use this query. An SQLmap provides reading and writing files if possible. So you can read the magic file just like that. And now you can accept this to let SQLmap confirm the download, and the file is in this folder. Go ahead and check. Okay, so now we can upload a file, but not an oh-so-innocent file. So I prepared a simple shell, and with the help of these two parameters, I can upload to a destination on the server. And again, it wants to confirm. The file is not uploaded. You know, I think we don't have the right permission to do that to the directory. So let's just change it to this one. We can confirm again. And I think that uploads the file. So we'll add the command parameter like that. Okay, so now we have a web shell. And we can run Linux commands. So go to terminal. Now, instead of using the web shell, you can use this query. It'll do almost the same thing that we did. It will upload a shell file to the server. Okay, choose for and a writable directory. Type no. Choose to provide the writable folder, and type var/www/bwap/documents. And yes. And here's the result of that command. Now, of course, for different operating system commands, you'll need to do all these things again. So actually, SQLmap has another parameter for this. So use this query and change it here to OS shell. So choose for and no. Choose to provide the writable folder, and type var/www/bwap/documents. Okay, so we get the operating system shell. Now you can type the operating system commands. And it looks like it's a Linux server, so I'm going to be typing these ones. Okay, so this is the basic usage of SQLmap. I know it's been a kind of a long lesson, but in the next lessons, we are going to dive more into, let's call them advanced scenarios.